Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Tuesday, and we are here for another episode of Ask Dr. Ron. And I have a returning guest coming on today, my friend, Miss Kalinda Preston. So I'm gonna wait until she's in the green room right now. So I'm gonna wait a while. I'm gonna get my advertisements out the way before I bring her online. But she's already here. I don't have to go hunt her down because last couple of weeks we had the technical difficulty with my other guest. But she's on time and here. So let me get this out the way. Shout out to Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt has been a mentor to me for the last 30 plus years. And out of those 30 plus years, he has been a blessing to both me and my family, as well as I have been a blessing to him and his family. You know, and the reason why I talk about Dr. Hunt, because I try to encourage people to get a mentor, someone that you can count on that can be there for you when you and your family are in turmoil or hardship or conflict. You know, we all need somebody. So Dr. Hunt has been there, just like I have been there for him. And I want you to just think about that, having someone that can be there for you. So once you get somebody, then you can get a show and shout them out. Okay? So now, I want to invite you guys over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. That's askdrron.com. And the first thing I want you to notice when you get there, you can scroll down to the Watch Live button. Each and every live broadcast, you can click that button and it'll take you to the live show. This show is now being broadcast live directly from the website. So that's something that you don't have to go searching for me, get lost all on YouTube looking at the wrong stuff. You can come right here and see what's going on in the live. Okay? Now, while you're there, I want you to check out my advertisers. I've got a few of them listed here we're going to talk about. First one is RRJ Web. RRJ Web Solutions will fix your broken website, will help you build a website, and help you do everything you need to do to get that website design out of your head and out on the World Wide Web. So definitely you can go over there and check them out, talk to them, and say, hey, I got a web idea or I got a broken web. I need some help. Also, SMJ Group. SMJ Group can help you with your business and personal taxes. I know we just came out of the deadline for personal taxes, but business taxes go all year round. If you're looking for a professional to help you with your taxes, SMJ Group can help you with that. Port Again Sam. Port Again Sam has been with me for at least 15 plus years. And he brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. I tell you, Port Again Sam, if you like cognac or wine, you can reach out to Port Again Sam and find out what your new favorite wine will be. Now, he's got some new stuff in. You might want to give him a call, set up a wine tasting so you can talk to him about, hey, what's going on, okay? So definitely reach out to him. All of these advertisers, you can click on any of the banners, click on any of the flyers, and it'll take you directly to their website. And last but not least, I want to talk about Prince Hunter Financial Group. Now, Prince Hunter Financial Group If you would like to know about the Forex market or the stock market, he is a person that gives 4 free classes. 4 free classes. You click on the banner, you send him an email or you give him a call and say, hey, I need to get those 4 free classes so that you can understand how those markets work. There are plenty of people making lots of money on the stock market and the Forex market. I don't know how, but they are. But you can find out exactly how those markets work. Reach out to him and find out exactly what you need to know to start your new career. So, like I said at the top of the show, Miss Kalinda has been on the show before, almost a year ago now. It's been a whole year. I went back and looked it up to see when the last time she was on the show. And it's been a whole year. Now, this woman is so busy. I tell you, she has layers and layers upon careers and businesses that she's involved in. So I'm really surprised that she was able to pencil me into her schedule. But welcome back, Miss Kalinda.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me back on the show.
Yeah. So what's going on with you? It's been a year now. I know you got a whole lot of stuff going on. They say, quote unquote, that COVID is over with. So I know that you hit the ground running, So what's going on in your world?
Well, you know what? During COVID, I never stopped. So, as you know, I work in facility operations. So I have a corporate career where I still was going into the office. So I took the COVID opportunity to get out there and still network a different type of way virtually, and then also get into the real estate market a little bit harder. So, as you know, I've purchased several properties now that are now short-term rentals, and that is an adventurous business that I've started, and it's been actually going very smoothly, and it's been a successful, fun ride. Right now, I am currently in a senior role for the American Medical Association, and a couple of different firsts there. I'm the first woman and first minority in my position, so
Mm.
a blessing and an honor to have been able to land that opportunity. And then I have still, again, been managing different companies of my own. Um, I am busy. I do make time, Dr. Ron, so don't put me out there like that.
No, I'm glad to see you.
Yeah.
You are welcome here. This is a safe place. You won't get attacked and beat up for a black woman out there doing all them jobs that a black man should be doing or nothing like that over here. Because, people get jealous. Most people trying to hold down one job and you got 5 of them, you know.
Well, let me tell you
But,
something. I exercise divine feminine energy now. I'm not one of those women like I don't need a man. I can do it
uh-huh,
all by myself. I definitely don't have a problem with saying, "Hey, how can I be a service to you?" So, um,
yes, absolutely.
and in
You know,
of service.
and,
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, 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 no. I was just gonna, encourage you the more because with all that you do, I follow you, stalk you, whatever. I don't know what the appropriate words are nowadays on Facebook. I see you, you're out there, in the marketplace and doing what you're doing, and it looks like you're having fun, So that's a good thing.
You know what? It's all about carrying the weight gracefully. You never
Hmm.
know.
There you
It's
go.
definitely some days I'm just like, oh my gosh, let me just throw some water at some people. But I definitely I definitely love what I'm doing, and just thinking about service, having that serving personality, being in that hospitality arena, because that's what short-term rentals are, is something that I have a passion for. I'm an artist and I'm a creator. So, aside from being able to paint and design and put down a floor, I enjoy the interior decoration, part of being a business owner. I love creating a space where people can come in and say, oh my gosh, I just want to stay here. And that's happened
Hmm.
before where someone will, book one of the homes and, stay for a couple of days and say, hey, I need to extend my stay because I was just not expecting to come into an atmosphere like that. I actually had somebody, a family, book for 4 weeks straight just
Mm.
because A, were not used to going into a short term rental and it looking exactly like the pictures. But then on top of that, it exceeded what the pictures provided. So that's something that I'm excited about every time I hear somebody or see somebody's face when they come into an atmosphere, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm totally blown away." It validates what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So
Just for those that don't know, short-term rentals is another term for Airbnb.
So Airbnb is a platform. So it's another
Okay.
term for vacation rental. So vacation rentals, short-term rentals are typically secured on different platforms, and Airbnb is one of those platforms, along with VRBO, Furnished Finders, etc.
At any given time, like say for instance, and this is just a scenario, if a person had a timeshare, in the area, they would be very similar to the kind of thing that you would do. They like once a year I can rent this place because I'm a part owner in it or something like that, or
No,
is it
that's
totally
completely different.
different?
So
Totally
timeshares,
different.
yeah, timeshares are actually it's kind of like a lease to own type of option, but several people can lease to own that specific space. Short-term
Mm-hmm.
rentals is exactly what it is. You can rent this space for a short.
Okay, she just froze up on me for a second there. Not exactly sure what happened. Okay, but her internet just froze up. Y'all stand by just a second. We're gonna get her back on the air in
Okay,
1 minute.
as the
There you
Wi-Fi
go.
is just kind of slowed
There
up
you
on
go.
me.
Yeah, there you go. I told him just hang on for a second. You'll be right back. So you were in the process of talking about short-term rentals compared to Airbnb, not Airbnb, but timeshare. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm not sure if you heard me, but timeshares are completely different from a short-term rental. A
Mm-hmm.
timeshare is more or less like a leased space, and several people might lease that specific location, or there's an opportunity where someone can lease it to own it. Whereas a short-term rental
Mm-hmm.
is exactly what it is. You can rent this space for a short period of time.
So let me ask you a question. How long have you been in this industry, the short-term rental?
So it's going on about 2 years now.
2 years. Okay. So, with the horror stories and success stories that you've had in this, would you recommend people consider getting into this market?
You know what? It just is based on the personality. So there are so many videos that are popping up right now about how short-term rentals is passive income. Get into this business and you can become a multimillionaire. And that's just not accurate. There are
Okay.
people that I have noticed that have gotten into this market and they're not doing their homework, they're not doing their due diligence. They're going off what other people say, and I see the mistakes in what they're doing, and that's why they're not hitting the revenue stream that I am. And then also you have to remember, I have a 10-year corporate real estate background. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm one of those people when I get into something, I obsess until I get it correct. So,
Okay.
even myself, with being able to run a successful business, I'm still learning. And it's
Okay.
about education, it's about time commitment, and really putting your energy into making sure that that space continues to grow. See, so oftentimes what I see is someone to say, "Oh, yeah, you should get into Airbnb, you'll make this money." And they'll hire a company to come out, and the company really doesn't have a vested interest other than getting their 10 to 30% of your business. And they're
Mm-hmm.
not going in and turning it over and saying, "Hey, let's add this, let's add these amenities." I might have a guest that comes in for an anniversary, I'll have roses left, or a funeral, and I'll have flowers and different things that cater to that specific guest. And then also, because my homes are in my local town, I care about the
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood. So for me, it's all about economic development. If you're going to have a business in your hometown area and you are doing it for the right reason, you're going to make sure, A, you're tapping into the other businesses. So I have books inside of my homes. And the books say, hey, go spend money. When you come to my home, also go spend money within my community so that
Mm-hmm.
that revenue stream is staying in this area. And those are things that I care about and think about. So it's not just about having a home, it's about how do I build up my community? How do I make sure that the home is safe, clean, and also something that is not going to be, annoying to my neighbors. So those are all things that
Mm-hmm.
you have to take in consideration so that Airbnb doesn't consistently get that bad rep. It's more or less about the host itself.
Got you. So, quick question. So, when you decided to put a home or two on the same block, not sure how close they are, but did you go and introduce yourself to your neighbors and say, "Hey, I'm so and so. I'm gonna have people, turning up over here every other weekend. Might get a little noisy, so if you got dogs, keep them in so they don't get annoyed." Did you do that type of thing?
So actually, my locations are very strategic. I don't have neighbors except in one area, and me and
Okay.
the neighbors that I do have in this one area. First of all, I don't purchase homes on a neighborhood block.
Okay.
It's one of those areas where there are amenities in the area, or there's not a block of homes on one side and a block of homes on the other side. It's again an event space or a golf course or something like that. So that was strategic when I purchased my homes. Secondly, I did talk to my neighbors, so they're definitely aware. We worked in tandem and put cameras up on their side also to kind of keep things niche down so that we don't have those
Mm-hmm.
type of scenarios. And then in my policy and plan, I spell out specifically what I do not tolerate. So again, it's an action plan, it's that community, and it's also creating a team
Okay.
outside of my team.
Fantastic. So, knowing that, would you suggest that people get into this marketplace? Is there a large marketplace to get into? Is it the field narrowing? Is it like, it used to be popular, now it's thinning down? Is there still a lot of boom left in this?
It's just dependent on, again, like I said, it all starts with who the person is running that business. You can make I say this all the time, you can make money anywhere. It's how you run your business is what's going to make you successful, and that separates you from the winners and the people who or who are having challenging moments in this environment. If you don't have the time, if you don't want to dedicate the energy to make sure that you are building a successful brand, again, educating yourself. I flew out of town to Texas to meet one of the top individuals that started his Airbnb business back in like '05. So again,
Mm-hmm.
making sure you are acclimating and aligning yourself with the successful individuals is what is going to make your business successful. So to answer your question, yes, you can still make money. Is it a bit saturated? Yes, it is a bit saturated, but there will always be someone that needs a place to stay. So
Okay. Yeah. So that's good. So if people are thinking about it, there's like a criteria. So do you counsel people on how to get into this business? Would you counsel people to get into this business?
actually, so I've been working on an ebook that I'm going to
Ah,
drop. Yes,
what a lead in.
yes, yes. And on my website, urbanizeandmove.com, I do have some things on there that people can download for free. There's a little quick how to get into it, how to start an Airbnb, quick little pamphlet on the website, urbanizeandmove.com. But it's going to be an ebook. It's going to be extremely inexpensive. Just because when you give things away for free, people don't really take it as serious as if they actually do put a small investment in it. Um, I am thinking about perhaps, co-hosting for a couple of people that are in the neighborhood. So if there are some people in the south suburbs, I would be willing to co-host, help them out, for a small fee. But I am thinking about that. It's just there are some other projects that are on the pipeline right now that are also just as important, if not more important, which is why I wanted to kind of talk about Urbanized Move and my DBA co-working space, incubator space that I'm trying to get up and running in South Holland, Illinois. So for me,
Yeah.
it's what's more important than anything is providing education, tools, resources, and locality for individuals who are trying to start a business. And you know what else is important? A network.
Right.
They always say your network is your net worth. So providing that space and providing a space for individuals that are on the same wavelength is important for me. So that's
Hmm.
why I am currently fundraising and looking for investors to invest
Okay.
in a project that I do have on the website urbanizedmove.com that will provide a creative environment for the community. So
Yeah, you've been working on that project for a while now. I
I
remember you
sure
talked
have.
about it. Yeah, yeah. The very first time you came on the show, and I think this is your third time on the show, if I remember correctly.
It is.
Um, yeah. So when you first started talking about it, I tried to be one of your clientele. I'm like, can I get on that list? I was like, can I be one of them people that you help? And of course she got busy on me, but that's okay. I know I'm on the list somewhere, if there's a list. But yeah, so are you closer to that project now in South Holland than before, or is it still kind of moving slowly?
It's so what I'm missing right now is I need someone to back the project from a financial perspective. Like
Okay.
I acquired the building in cash. I do not want to take out a loan to finance the rehab. I would prefer to get grant funding because again, this
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a community project. It's going to be a community location, and it will be South Holland's first co-working environment. So I have been aimlessly and tirelessly filling out grants and reaching out to individuals to try to get that funding to secure that funding for this environment.
Yeah. It's been crazy over the last 3 years now. We can say 3 years. Most funding that has been coming out has been COVID related. There has not been a lot of funding for other projects. I was just talking to another resource of mine on just yesterday, and officially, quote unquote, COVID is supposed to be officially over in June of next month. So everything that was COVID related is now going to go away. So, and
I want
it's
to
a,
say that, well, so what I've been seeing is there is funding out.
mm-hmm,
There's a
mm-hmm,
lot of funding out there, but there's been situations that have happened. There was a grant that was coming out for minority small business owners that was rescinded because someone placed a lawsuit against the city of Chicago because they
mm-hmm.
weren't able to apply for this minority grant. So there
Okay.
that grant that was rescinded. There's also funding. So I'm looking for money to fund the rehab of the location. And there's funding like that,
Mm-hmm,
but it's in the city of Chicago. So the
mm-hmm.
challenge has been finding funding that would work or fit in for the south suburbs of Chicago because it's not.
Quick question. Don't they still have available the 203K loans, things
That's
like
a loan.
that? That would,
But so a
yeah.
203K loan would not work for a commercial property. That's only for
Okay.
a residential property that you are going to reside in. This was a commercial property.
Okay. So those scenarios, because I know that you can, have some flexibility in the amounts that you get and the work that you do with it. But I think they had a business as well. I don't know, remember the name of it, but I think it was a HUD Chapter 3 program or something like that, where they would allow businesses to be able to apply and get funding under HUD. So,
But
not
see,
sure.
but
Go
those
ahead.
are for projects. Those are for projects when I've already purchased the property.
Okay.
So it's paid in full. I might have to take another mortgage out to fund it myself, but I've really
Mm-hmm.
been trying to secure the funding that's available out here.
Gotcha.
This right here actually will be able to give you there's Justin right here. give us the funding that's required
Mm-hmm.
to have those workforce development programs, to talk about sustainability, to talk about economics in the community, and most importantly, share the importance of having multiple streams of income. And I'm gonna have my stock market classes. I kind of had to put a pause or put a pin in that because that
Okay.
takes time. And I've been again aimlessly working on. I finished up another house. I'm in the middle of another rehab right now. So and I know I shouldn't be doing it like this, but I've been funding these projects out of my own pocket. So
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm looking to leverage or try to get some government funding to, get this other project going.
So another question I have about funding and availability of funding. I understand that right now, with the current governor and administration that we have, they are making available funds for minorities and businesses, especially in the urban areas around Chicago, in and around Chicago. So they have earmarked certain funds to be available for what's going on with projects like yourself. Is that true or not true? Were you able to see and locate?
So that's a great point that you brought up. And I did speak to Rick Bryant. So Rick Bryant is the advisor for the Congresswoman Robin Kelly, and there are such
Mm-hmm.
things as earmarked dollars. Um, the earmarked dollar program that they do have, there's about 100 people on the list, and they only
Okay.
have funding for about 10 people. And I know they were naming off some nonprofit organizations that are already existing. And I did not get an opportunity to apply for that round. It was something that I found after the fact, and they closed it in
Mm-hmm.
March. But now
Oh
I know
wow.
that those dollars are available. Um, I have
Yeah.
since brought on someone that's helping me look for the funding as well. And again, when I pitch it, everyone's like, "Yeah, this is a great idea. We need this. I need to partner with you." It's just, once all you need is one yes. So one yes is what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Now, for those that don't know, Robin Kelly is on a federal level for the state of Illinois. She's our congressperson. But I was specifically more towards, geared towards a request going towards the state level. So
Okay.
I know they have funds that have been earmarked specifically for minority and businesses, and that was some of the things that people were saying that black folks in business don't get opportunities, so they set aside. They did some minority set asides, to be able to help people like yourself that are trying to build projects like that. You're
So
not
you
familiar?
you just been holding that in your back pocket, huh?
Well,
But
that's because you don't answer the phone enough. Nah, 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 nah. And I know that your state rep, unfortunately, is recuperating. He had an automobile accident, but your state rep would be the person that can help gear you in the right direction. So after when we're off air, we'll talk about trying to get you in touch with some of the people that can help you with those, set asides. Okay.
okay. Okay.
And actually, it's so crazy. My network is pretty large, not bragging or anything, but one of the people that usually keeps up on things like that from the West Side, LaShawn Ford.
Okay. Okay. Forward. Okay.
Yeah, he's on the West Side, and
Well,
some of
if
his
LaShawn
staff.
is listening, LaShawn, I made you a flyer.
Yeah, yeah, LaShawn and Reven Fellows, another good friend of mine. He's
I made
LaShawn's right
LaShawn
hand.
work for Napoleon.
Yeah, yeah, Napoleon Harris. That's my nephew. Name dropping. So I'm just name dropping, but people that can actually help, and that's Napoleon's district as well.
Right.
So he should be able to help with information. So it just depends on who his office staff is and whether they'll move fast enough to, get you in touch with some of the programs. But the key was for me mentioning the fact that a lot of the COVID funding and projects are coming to an end. So now the other projects will now begin to have priority and they'll begin to work on that. I was just talking to one of my good friends on yesterday, and he was telling me that some of the housing problems that they had prior to COVID were still there. You know, some of these folks that were not able to pay their bills and needed help, and the funding all got switched over to COVID relief. And now that COVID relief is out of the way, now they can go back to dealing with folks that need help that were in trouble prior to the COVID situation. So there's all types of programs out there to help folks with things, and I'm going to have him back on the show. Robert Saunders, he's been on the show before, and all he specializes in is helping people with housing problems. So he was telling me that there's some new programs coming down the pipe, old programs that have been revitalized, and they're going to be people that are still in trouble. People in the black community, we got bad deals when we got them to begin with. So when they started purchasing property, they thought they were doing good, but then their deal was bad. Just like now, the interest rate has risen so high that some folks' mortgage payments have just gone up just because the interest rate went up. So these are all, some of the things that, we have to start dealing with and trying to figure out how we're going to survive. So, and here's a young lady like yourself who was trying to put, community resources together where people can come and support, and just circling back around the fact that you said you need people to help you financially with some of these projects. And that would be an opportunity to be able to, come in, find out what your needs are, not take over your project, but just come in and take over, not take over, but get involved with what you're trying to do.
I mean, it's the whole. So I had a class actually. I went to a class a couple of weeks ago on social equity, and one of the things that always pinpointed social equity, or the topic behind that, is finding economics, or finding capital for minorities so that they could take back their own communities, so that they can be able to provide for their families, which will reduce crime. And there's a lot of grant funding that's out there, $5,000, $10,000. Okay, that's great, but how do minorities take that $5,000 or $10,000 and grow a multi-million-dollar business if they only stop at $5,000 and $10,000?
Right.
Who continuously provides them the support? Who continuously say, okay, here's this $10,000 grant should be something ongoing until, I don't even want to get into reparations, but until, we see people. I'm bringing Justin right here. This is my son, Justin, right here. So Justin has autism. And again, things like this, there are minority family members with children with special needs. Again, my program, or the co-working incubator space that I want to bring to South Holland, would also tailor to that. Because my son helps me with my companies. And then there are other parents that have children with special needs, children that can do things where they can bring in money as well. So, I mean, again, It's about educating people. How do you have a network that continuously educates you so that your business is successful? You're learning how to barter, because that's another thing that we don't talk about enough. It's always, I just started my business 30 days ago and I'm charging you $250 an hour, instead of, hey, you are a photographer or a videographer, you are great at marketing, and I have this product. How can we collaborate and barter with one another and build our brands up together so that we can get to that mark of charging $250 an hour to these corporate clients and not people who are struggling to pay? And, I'm not that person that's saying, hey, don't charge anybody any money. But what I'm saying is, when you're at that ground level, having that network to pull on and tap on, and not have to worry about, oh, I'm not going to be able to afford to pay you in monetary dollars, is what I'm trying to get people to gravitate and understand. Heck, in the next couple of years, we might not even have them, the dollar bill as our currency, and it might be all electronic. So then you have to learn how to barter if you don't have those electronic funds coming in.
That's exactly true. That's
the goal. That's the key.
And now it's time to put a history lesson in here. Our ancestors used to barter goods and services all the time.
That's where the term came from.
That's exactly right. Our ancestors used to work with one another, no matter what their specialty was. So, like if a person was building or fixing a home in the village, then everybody chipped in, to help on that project.
Hmm.
And whatever that person whose project they worked on had to offer, they would chip in on the next person's project.
Hmm.
And I think an American company called Habitat, they did something very similar like that, where they brought
Habitat for
in,
Humanity.
yes, they brought in people with skill sets to help a person who was in need, and then that person in need would help when the next project came along. So
I recall they
uh,
were building homes.
right, absolutely. For people who were in need, and our former president,
Trump
Carter.
or
Yeah, no,
former.
Carter. Yeah, 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 yeah,
In our former. Well, he's our way
yeah, yeah,
better.
yeah, yeah. Former president Jimmy Carter used to work, on those projects himself. Now he's out of Georgia, and he would travel all over the country and helping people with their projects. So it's something to the barter system that will help someone like yourself
Mhm.
who's in need to be able to come down and help get you up and going. And when y'all get to that point where y'all want to come on my show, all I need is a phone call. See
Mhm.
how easy that was, just to make it available for people to participate with what you're doing and what I'm doing, and they can get in our network. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
absolutely.
Absolutely. Yep. So now, last time you were on the show, because I don't want to get too late in the show and not cover all the things that you do. Now we've talked about the project in South Holland. We've talked about the short-term living arrangement. So now, what happened with your cosmetic line?
And so that's still up and running. Actually, I am going through a rebrand. I have a new website now, succulentproducts.com, and I'm still shipping out items on Etsy. So that company is kind of afloat right now. I'm able to still send out products and things like that. I've been focusing my energy on the real estate piece first because, again, I have another house that I am rehabbing currently. I think I'm about, I would say 85% there, 85 to 87% done. So I'm super excited about being able to launch that house. That's been it's something that's been in the trenches, but being consistent and persistent is why I'm 87% done now. So thankful and
Good,
blessed. And
good, good, good. So, what products do you have available with the cosmetic line?
so with succulent products, I have handmade natural whipped body butters, natural whipped sugar scrubs. I also have a hair growth oil and butter. I have a lot of people who purchase that, different, nationalities. Especially, I have one customer who is a former cancer patient who shaved all her hair off, and her hair has been growing like wildflowers. So, again, I'm thankful and blessed to have so many different talents. I have a knack for, you know, organic ingredients and putting things together and making sure that I am creating something that is what my tagline is, from life for life. So it's all about creating things that are from the earth, from the ground, that are natural, for us people. So there are no
Right.
preservatives in my products. Again, they're all natural, and it's I use my own hair products on my face, my skin, and my body, and I am my own living testimony. So
Okay.
it's something that I do have a passion for.
Okay. So now I got to ask a crazy question because I'm not familiar with it. What is a body sugar? I have no idea
A
what
sugar
that is.
scrub.
Yeah, what is that?
So it's a combination of so my body's sugar scrubs are a combination of different sugars, essential oils, and I actually add body butter in my scrubs. So
Okay.
they're extremely moisturizing, and what they do is they slew off the dead skin on your body. So a lot of people use them on
Oh,
their feet when they're going to the nail salon. You can use it on your entire body. Like you have rough knees and elbows, you can use it on that. And mine's are light enough that you can use it. Like I use a little on my face. There's one that I have that's called Cafe and Cream. It's actually Cafe and Cream is the body butter, and the
okay.
scrub is called Cafe Rub, and it's actually made using Ethiopian coffee bean oil. So I actually
Oh, okay.
cook Ethiopian coffee beans in my signature oil for about 8 hours, and that oil is added to the scrub and the body butter. And it's rich in so many different ingredients. It's supposed to help lighten your skin, moisturize your skin, protect your skin. It's amazing. So I use it on my face.
Okay. All right, because I never heard of that. Like sugar.
You know what? Most men don't know. They're like, "What's a sugar scrub?"
You're right. Yeah, I was like, I never heard of 'em. So I had to ask that question for the brothers that might be listening. It might be some brothers on here that might want to get their honey that because it's like Mother's Day coming up, right?
It's Mother's Day coming up, and I do have them
Right.
also
So,
for men. So there are actually men that go on and buy the scrubs and the body butters as well. And just like women have self-care Sundays, men can have self-care Sundays also. You don't want to walk around with rough hands and feet, do you? Calluses and, and things like that. Do you add
I
up
can
and
go
cause
so many different ways with that not having rough hands. But I'm gonna keep it above the waist.
please?
But yes. So do you have like practitioners that use your products that specialize with using your products when they introduce it to new clients or something like that?
I do.
Like,
I
okay,
Yeah. So
so
I actually
massage therapists
clients.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
some clients that are masseuses that utilize the product. My
Okay.
niece is actually a hairdresser. I actually started the business because of her. She had really bad eczema. Her children had it really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to create something from her where so she didn't have to keep going and buying things like Eucerin and getting steroids or something that again all have preservatives in it and really does not work to heal the problem. So
Mm-hmm.
this product was actually created for her. And then
Okay.
of course other people started utilizing it and it became a business, and that's the story.
Okay. So how many different products would you say you have? So like if a person, like if say for instance I wanted to buy my mother a gift package, how many products do you have that I would include in that, gift package or something?
So I have 5 different products. I didn't want to make this to be an overwhelming experience. I just really wanted to focus and concentrate on specific things. It's the body butter, the scrub, the hair oil, the hair butter, and then I also make a bath salt. I take
Okay.
it back, 6 products, and then I also have a massage oil.
Okay. So if I bought this from my mother, she won't send it back to me, right?
Oh no, she won't.
Because old women are, yes, I call my mother old, so y'all gonna have to just call me off the air. But old women are finicky about what they use, and because they ain't familiar with it, they're like, I don't know what that
That's not an old
So,
woman thing. All women are. I,
uh
I used to go around to and do like a lot of events and
huh,
pop up events, and I know I went to it, I went to the Mayor of Robbins. He had like a birthday party event, and there were a
okay,
lot of different individuals from the surrounding suburbs, in political seats. And I just brought samples. I'm like, let me just bring some samples and pass out some things. I remember there was an older woman there, and she was like, "Come on, girl, let me help you pass these samples out." So we were walking around giving us samples, like, "Hey, my name is Kalinda Preston, and I'm the CEO of Succulent, and I have this sample for you." And people were like looking at it, like, "Oh, okay, thank you." So, I'm like, okay, the sentiment was, okay, thank you for giving me another body butter.
right,
Let me tell you, before the end of that day, people were rushing to me. Like, oh my gosh, I've never felt a body butter like this before. Can I buy some right now? I mean, I
Uh-huh.
had people call me or reach out to me on Etsy. I mean, I had people from Canada, Mexico, different localities, and I've had people come to me like, I'm not gonna lie, I tried to buy another body butter from somebody else because it's a little bit cheaper than yours, and body butters are not the same.
Right, right,
So I
right.
definitely would say I've gotten a lot of great feedback. I've had mothers come up to me like, I could not get my baby to go to sleep at all. I put a little bit of your body butter on the lavender one, and both of us was knocked out. So I've had some amazing testimonies from people who, really love the product. I have a friend of mine who I gave him some samples for like his golf group of individuals. And like 6 months later, he was like, oh my gosh, a friend of mine, his was like, he finally used the body butter and was like, I need to buy some. Like, I love this body butter. So it's been a lot of great feedback. I just feel like, one, I need to get it in front of Oprah or somebody major, but like God has been like, wait a minute now, you got to be ready when you get to that type of stage,
Right,
have
right,
this stuff
right.
in production. So
Right, right,
it's
right.
definitely been
So
busy.
so the body butter, would you say is kind of like a shea butter whip type thing or something
It
different?
is. So it's shea butter, it's mango butter, and different essential oils and different
Okay.
oils, hand whipped together. It's just
Yeah,
not
see,
heavy. It's not that body butter that you're gonna buy from the beauty supply store. It's
okay.
hand whipped, so it's extremely light and fluffy, and it's not something that you'll buy from the store because it doesn't have preservatives.
Okay. So y'all didn't think I knew nothing about shea butter. I know y'all was surprised I whipped that one out. So now we talked about your cosmetic line. So what else would you like to talk about?
I mean, I do a lot of different things. I have a design company also. We talked about that before, but Undiscovered. So
Right.
I've kind of put Undiscovered on autopilot where I create designs one time for the sublimation community. And then people can go on my Etsy page and they can buy the design. So, I can sell a design thousands of times and I don't have to keep redesigning it. And I did it that way because of my time constraints. Now I'm an artist, so I do know how to
Mm-hmm.
paint, and I also do host paint and sips and things like that. So
Okay,
I
that's
just
very
actually
popular
recently
now.
hosted a paint and sip about 2 weeks ago now. So I
Mm-hmm.
do little therapeutic sessions like that under my art business. So
Okay.
I actually have an art education degree.
Okay.
um, so that's another.
I actually was stalking you one day on, I think it was Instagram or Facebook or something, and I said, "Oh, she got naked models. I might have to go to that."
You can
Yeah, I was
buy a
like,
piece of art.
"Wow,
You can just buy a
huh?"
piece of art and look at one all the time.
Okay, all right. See, I'm into photography. I like to take the pictures.
Yep, I can't help
So
you there.
yeah, I know that's right.
I
But
see
yeah,
today.
no, definitely,
So
definitely,
today.
definitely. I saw some of your artwork, and it looked like it was in a class setting.
Yes.
So it was like different people had painted different things that were, I guess, laid out amongst so now I'm a person that does stick drawings. Is there any help for a person like me?
A stick drawing.
Yeah, I do stick drawings. Like
I
one
mean, yeah, like
one
it's
line.
it's a it's a market. It's a market for everything. Somebody might think your stick drawing was, you know, sanctified, crucified, and now it's worth $1 million. It just depends on who the person is.
Right, right, right. Because I have no. I don't think I have any talent in that area as far as drawing or sketching or anything like that. I enjoy it because I know it's a gift, and I appreciate seeing people with that talent. So I just like, yep, that ain't one I got. So you can't have everything. That's the way I look at it. So I have to appreciate and honor the people that do. So I applaud you for being the person that you are, in that area. You know. So we talked about the art. Now, do you put your artwork in your residence?
Actually, I need to start painting more, but that was so. One of my homes, I actually painted this huge dragon, and it's not even all the
Okay.
way done. But my business partner threw it up on the wall, and people are just coming in freaking out when they see it, saying, "Oh my gosh, you painted that? I thought you bought that from the store." But yes, that has been that's the goal, to at least have some of my art on the walls, and if someone wants to purchase it off the wall, they will have that opportunity. So that's again another additional stream of income, and then me putting myself out there to do more work.
Absolutely. So now, have you ever had what do they do? Showings or something? A
I
art
did.
show or something
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, I used to do shows all the time. I've won some awards.
Okay.
I won an award from Kanye West. I've won an award from Rob Blagojevich. I've done a lot of shows at the hospital. So, actually, a client. So every now and then, I will do logos and websites for people. It just depends on the
Mm,
time that I have. But a friend of mine that I used to work with, she actually sent me a text today, and she was like, "I still have. I painted. She commissioned me to do some art for her." And she still has the art on her wall set up really nicely. And it was just pretty awesome to see, her appreciating my art that I painted for her over 10 years ago.
oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to commission you to do a drawing for me. I'm just gonna say it like that. You're gonna have to. I'll have clothes on, of course, but you're gonna have to.
Listen,
I'll
I'm not,
do.
listen, I don't do people.
Okay. Oh, you don't do people?
No,
Oh
that's just
man.
if I do
So
something that I do, if I do a person, that's going to be because it's something that I want to do. I don't have the time to, I don't have the, I don't want to commit the time to do it. There's too many people I know that could do that for you.
okay. All right. Well, we'll talk about that off the air.
Okay.
So do you do freestyle sketching, or do you have to do paint, or?
I freestyle everything that I do. So
Okay.
when I'm creating something, I might do a little sketching of it, but when you're painting, it always evolves. Just like
Okay.
when I painted that dragon, the dragon has bones in there. I was painting texture. So I am a multimedia or a mixed media artist. So all
Okay.
of my art is something that you can touch or you'll want to touch, and it has dimension to it. That's something that I appreciate. So
Okay. All right. We got about 5 or 6 minutes left in the show. Is there anything else in particular you wanted to emphasize before we get out of here today?
hi, everybody. I am Kalinda Preston. Please check out my website, Urbanized Move. I am fundraising right now, and there is a fundraising link on that website for a co working center that will be in South Holland. The name of that co working center, I hope I'm looking into the camera, is Urban
You
Oak
are.
Working. And this right here will be a staple in the community. This will be an environment where you can rent out an office space, you can rent out an office desk, or have a space for you to do event pop-ups. This will be a space where if you have a special needs child, they can come in and we'll do some projects and we're going to sell their art. And it's going to be something that, again, that will promote economic development in the community. It will create an environment that will assist and promote entrepreneurship, especially amongst minorities. And it will also provide us with the tribe or the community that we need to thrive. So again, go to urbanizedmove.com. You will also find links to my short-term rentals on there. So if you're looking to book a space or getaway, please go on to the website and you will find those links there. And if you just want to know more about me or how to get in contact with me, go to urbanizedmove.com. And thank you, Dr. Ron, for your time and allowing me to be in your presence. Oh, grateful
It.
one.
Oh Lord, Hammer. It is my pleasure. Definitely. I count you a friend. We got a comment. B Walls, Bewalls. Kalinda is amazing. Thanks for sharing.
Thank
You
you.
know,
I
yeah.
don't know who that
So
is, but thank you.
yeah, there you go. So somebody that new possible client or new possible visitor. So they'll be able to find where your locations on your website as well.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, absolutely, that's great. Um, I just feel like I wish you all the blessings and all the success with all of your endeavors. And when you finally get around to me on whichever list you got me on, I'm
Dr. I'm
sure.
just waiting on a check.
Well, didn't you say something about bartering? I said, you said, look, y'all hear that now?
What?
Look, in the
Not
beginning, she said bartering of
I went to that
services.
front. You said, wait a minute, you said you know the people that can give me a check.
Yeah,
It don't have to
well,
come from you. We talking
look, I know quite a
about
few people, but folks are stingy. You know how that go. These folks out here, boy, they ain't trying to give up off no cash. I'm always begging. Every show I go on, I'm begging for some money, boy. I tell you, ain't no shame in my game. I be wanting y'all to donate. I ain't look. I ain't too proud to beg. Okay,
I
you
listen,
know.
I'm not one of them feminists. I take and I accept and I appreciate from God any blessing that comes my way. So again,
Absolutely,
support urbanizedmove.com. I cannot reiterate it
absolutely,
enough.
absolutely.
And then I do have
Now,
some partners on there that
okay,
please look at the partner pages. Dominique was my architect who designed out the space. There are renderings on the website that will give you some insight into what this co-working space is going to look like. Dominique Gallegos, amazing. Again, that's that bartering piece. He wants to see
right.
this co-working space happen. He's a professional architect, and he said, "Let me design your space for you." So those things are happening. We need the Village of South Holland to, come in and say, "Hey, we're going to find some funding for this." Support, support, support.
So right quick, tell who would be the people that would benefit most greatly from this space.
Anybody in the South suburbs that is an aspiring entrepreneur, an existing entrepreneur, even if you are a larger business and you're looking for a space for your employees who are now 100% virtual so they can get out that house, so their kids, like Justin just popped in, can stop popping in front of their Zooms and they can go into an environment where there are other entrepreneurs working. I suggest that they also secure memberships or secure and provide funding so that they can get a discount when the space opens up. Because we speak things into existence, we speak life.
There you go. Yeah, and it will be a membership program. I just heard you say that.
It'll be memberships and also there'll be daily opportunities. And of course, there will be pop ins, especially when we bring in different guest speakers. I'm already signing
Absolutely.
up my mentor, Mr. Steve Monaco, if he's listening, to be one of the TED Talk guests. He was a major player in the real estate world. He has his own real estate firm. Again, Dr. Ron, I'm hoping that you can come out there and maybe perhaps educate and talk to people about getting into what you do, because we have to pass that torch, which is important.
Absolutely. No problem. I'm committed. I said it on the air, so
Don't take that.
I cannot back out of it. I'm absolutely there,
Yes.
along the way. Matter of fact, if you have some interns that you would like to videotape this project as it's beginning to evolve and develop. See, that's a good training tool.
Yes. Yeah.
So some people that you want to teach a skill or a trade to, I would be more than happy to mentor them into how to make this something as a premier project.
That's a
So
blessing
look,
right
we got about 2 minutes left. So I always got two questions that I like to ask people before we get off the air. The first question is, will you come back and see me again?
It's my third time. Third time's a charm.
Yep. All right.
Absolutely.
Yep. So thank you for that. And then what would you like to leave with the people before we get out of here today? Because I know you have so many things and they can reach you on your website and discuss any one of these things we talked about on today. But what would you like to leave with the people special today?
I feel like it's important to lead with people the importance of understanding you have to stay committed. I walk around and I smile and people don't even know the half of the things that I am dealing with. It's a struggle, making sure bills are paid, making sure people that are supposed to be coming in are doing their work, hiring and firing bad contractors. So stay committed to whatever you want to do. This is not easy at all. Short-term rental business is not easy. Getting into real estate is not busy. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. And especially being a single parent mom entrepreneur is not easy. But if you wake up every single day and you are committed, I know something is going to work out. And, just faith of a mustard seed. It's all you need.
Amen. Thank you for that. And once again, I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come out, make your pitch, tell people who you are. Again, we got to keep you out there so people
Yes, I
can find
appreciate
you, so they know where you are and they know where they can chip in and help with the contributions and doing what you need at that time. So thank you again. You know I love you and ain't nothing you can do
Thank
about it.
you.
You know, and I'm there. So we just got to get you some folks that are interested in helping you with your project. And your son over there, we're gonna wave at him and say, "Hey,
One piece. Now come over here. Come over
what's
here.
up? Hey, hey."
There you
Now he's shy. How you doing? Now he wants to be shy. Well, so thank you again. You stay right there in the green room. I'm going to end the show. I want to invite everybody out to come see me tomorrow on Street News Now on the Noon Report. You can catch me right here on YouTube and Facebook as well as on my website. You can definitely go over there and check out what's going on. Also, each and every Saturday from the desk of Dr. Ron, you can find me giving a piece of my mind to y'all. Not many pieces left, but you can still come by and get a piece on what's going on in my world from the desk of Dr. Ron. I want to thank each and every person that have made contributions up to this particular point in time. Thank you so very much. Okay, thing is trying to act up a little bit. Okay, we ain't gonna worry about it. But you can see where you can make contributions here. Thank you so very much. Continue to do so. Please subscribe, like, and share. Please tell somebody. Send this around. Take the link, send it wherever you think somebody might be interested in participating and supporting this young lady and what she's trying to do. Peace and love. See you guys on tomorrow. Stay safe.